Hey everybody, welcome to this week's live stream. It is so good to be here and it is so good to see you all. Thank you so much for coming. We're just going to do a general cruise Q&A today. So if you have any questions related to cruise ships, cruise destinations, cruise anything, just let me know. If you can comment question in capital letters, it will just help me to pick out what are questions and what is everybody just chatting. But it's really nice to see you all. I have not done a live stream for 3 weeks, which is the longest break I've had from live streams in 4 years. So it's really nice to be back and to see you all again. Yeah, a lot has happened. I haven't been traveling. We did have a death in my family, so I've had a lot to deal with that. I also got a dog the day before the death in the family, obviously not planned, but it has meant I've had a lot to deal with. So yes. Different camera angle. Yes, slightly different camera angle. This live stream is sponsored by Enjoy the Wood, who make these maps, who they've been in my background for years and years, and it would not be right to do a live stream and not show them. I didn't think. So we've changed it slightly. Thank you very much for noticing. I see Matt is in here. He says, please keep me awake. Matt has just flown to London. And I think he flew overnight, fast forwarded because of the time difference, and is trying to stay awake for an entire night and a day. So wish Matt luck, because that sounds terrible. I think I would have to take a tactical sleep for maybe 4 hours or something. But yes. Thank you so much, by the way, to the moderators who look after these live streams. I would not be doing it without you, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you to Sean here, who says, if you have a question, start it with question. Yes, please. I'm definitely not 100%. I'm definitely running on less sleep than normal. So question from Kerry says, do we get to meet the dog? Not on this live stream. No way am I letting him in this room. He will chew through the charger. He'll knock the thing on the floor. He is 7 months old. He's very much a puppy. He's never lived in a house. He's a rescue dog, a street dog. So we're getting him used to everything. You know, this is a toaster. This is what the inside of a freezer looks like. He's very, very good. He's been very good. He's very smart. But yeah, it would be, I could never, well, not never, but right now I could not do a live stream with him in the room. So the door's closed. He's not allowed in this room. What is the name and rank of your new dog? So his name is Rolo, and he is a cadet. And he's probably going to stay a cadet because he's very young. He's very full of energy. He knows nothing. So he's cadet. Captain Hudson, of course, is captain. Captain's still in charge. Does Rolo bark with an accent? Rolo's from Romania, so maybe he has a Romanian accent. I don't know. California says hello. Hello to California. Hello to everyone who's watching this, wherever you are. And some of you are in the future, some of you are in the past. Yes. Can you tell us about how Rolo and Captain Hudson are getting along? They're not in any way enemies. They're not best friends, but they're not in any way enemies. And I think that's a success because we've only had him a couple of weeks. And for Rolo has no interest in Hudson at all. He's always lived, with dogs and cats, and outside he's fine. He doesn't have any interest in chasing a cat, barking at a cat, doesn't care. He's perfect in that way. Hudson, obviously, something very jumpy and noisy is in the house that is bigger than him. So obviously he's a bit shy, but we've made it so that Hudson has the run of the house. Hudson's in charge, and Rolo's very much the addition that's here, and Hudson can come and see him or not. So Hudson's definitely in charge. How would we be watching this in the past? I mean, some of you are in the past time zone wise, right? That's what I mean. Yeah, I would have assumed the cat would be the one that doesn't care, but the dog doesn't. Yeah, I mean, Hudson's never, I mean, I don't know, to be honest, because Hudson is also a rescue. We got him when he was 5. I don't know if he's ever lived with dogs, but he's not doing anything bad. I think that's good. I think neutral okay is the best that you can really hope for. Oh, hello, Kevin. It's nice to see you. So many of you in the chat. It's so funny for me to watch some of my older live streams because there's the same names that have been in there for 4, 5, 6 years. I was looking earlier for some pictures that I took in 2016. I have a hard drive with all the old pictures on it because I made my own sort of version of these cruise maps in 2016, and they're not great. So I wanted to find the pictures so that I can show you them. And yeah, it was just really funny. But it's interesting because in there's also screenshots of my website, screenshots of our Facebook group from 2016, 2017, and it's changed a lot. Anyone who's here from the Cruising Isn't Just for Old People Day, let me know. Any code today? Yeah, so this live stream is sponsored by Enjoy the Wood. So the code is just Emma Cruises, and that gets you a discount on all of these. This is the smallest size map that they do, and it's still pretty big. I think technically it's called medium. Some weird questions in here. Thanks to the moderators who look after these. Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it. Just gonna sort that one out. Any possibilities of a Rolo plushie? I think it would be a really good idea. I would want to raise the money for the charity that he came from. I think that would be nice. And yeah, I think so. Because quite often I get comments and they're like, well, I just don't like cats. Fair enough. Cats and dogs, they're very different. But maybe, I mean, we have the next version of Captain Hudson on the way. They've been made. And I have agreed to pay the shipping, which is very expensive. And they should be with us soon. So in a month's time, I'm hoping you'll be able to buy version 5 of Captain Hudson. And then after that, maybe we'll do Rolo. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. A puppy plushie. Yes, exactly. Could Rolo be captain of a car ferry? I mean, I think he's got a lot of things that he needs to learn before he can do anything like that. How do you take care of Hudson when you're traveling? Hudson stays exactly where he is. I never wanted to take him to a cattery or anything like that. Catteries are Britishism, actually. Just is a kennel for cats, right? Apparently it's a Britishism. But I've never wanted to take him to anywhere like that because I rescued him. He was 5. He was in there for, I think, 6 months. That's where I got him from. And I think if I ever put him somewhere like that, he would think that he was going away again. And that's just awful. So he stays put. Other humans live in my house, look after my house, look after Hudson, look after Rolo. The world rotates around these animals. Trust me. Trust me. For them, I don't want things to change. A Viking Ocean or Viking River cruise, what one would you pick? I mean, the fact it's Viking really doesn't matter. The question is just ocean or river, what would you pick? They're very, very different. They're brilliant, but they're really not the same. When I took my first river cruise, I was expecting to find people who had done ocean cruises, but the majority had never done an ocean cruise and they couldn't think of anything worse. They're like, look at those horrible big ships. So that was quite interesting. And it's just a completely different way of life. You know, an ocean ship has 20 decks. It has theaters. It has go-karts. It has all these things to do. A river ship's normally 3 or 4. There's one lounge. There's one restaurant. That's about it. But you're on a river instead of the ocean. That's quite a big difference. Depends where you want to go. Could Rolo be a candidate to test the kennels on Queen Mary 2? I don't think he would enjoy it. I think if I was going to go and I needed to bring him with me, it's a better option than flying. But I don't think they would enjoy it because you can't keep them with you. They'd be in kennels. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on your dog, doesn't it? Everyone hit like. Yes, that would be lovely if you can do that. It's a blessing and a curse to work for myself when things are not so good, because I have more flexibility, but also my job never stops. It is a 24/7 business. And as soon as I take, even taking time off live streams, YouTube at the moment is like, Emma, this is the worst we've ever seen from you. This is embarrassing. Your career's over. And it's not. But yeah, if you can watch the live streams and stuff, it really, really helps because yeah, all the messages, even on Facebook, it pops up and it's like, blah, blah is waiting for a reply from you. Don't try and guilt trip me. I have hundreds of comments I can't reply to. I'm trying my best. Tommy says, what is the best Royal Caribbean cruise you've been on? So it would be probably Spectrum of the Seas, a cruise I did from Japan. It was just fantastic. It was so good. Rob says, you talk too much about dogs and Hudson. Prefer it if you get into the cruise content. If you're interested in just cruise content, there are, 500 channels that don't have a cat called Hudson and don't have a dog called Rolo. But I'm absolutely never, ever going to stop talking about them. They're a massive part of my life, particularly Captain Hudson. We've raised £104,000 for charity with him. So yeah, if you're not interested in that, check out one of the channels that doesn't have him because Rolo and Hudson are going nowhere, not going anywhere. How did you pick the name for Rolo? I didn't. He came with that name. See, all the questions are about Rolo and Hudson, so it's not even just my choice. Yeah. Yeah, I can't even find any questions that aren't about Hudson or Rolo. I have a question. Can you please put the question? Because I don't know what it is. Dave and Bill say we're cruising in an inside cabin for the first time in October. Very proud, very proud. You'll have a good time. Do you have any tips to make an inside cabin nicer to stay in? My main tip is the daylight alarm clock. I forgot that on one cruise last year and it was miserable. The main thing that is annoying about inside cabins is not knowing what time it is. You don't know if it's 3 a.m., you don't know if it's 3 p.m., it's dark. So having a daylight alarm clock just helps. When you wake up in the middle of the night and it's slightly light, at least then maybe it's 6 in the morning, 7, like you can set whatever time you want the sun to rise for, but that just makes a massive difference. Apart from that, though, there's not really any differences between inside cabins and balconies. You just don't have the balcony space. The decor is normally exactly the same. The pillows are the same. Everything else is the same. So, yeah, the lamp is my favorite. Also, you tend to have less plug sockets in inside cabins sometimes. So bring one of the adapters where you can charge multiple things. When I took a cruise recently on P&O's Aurora, we had one plug socket, one plug socket for the two of us. But luckily I had my adapter and we could charge, I think, 5, 6 things off of that. So we did do that. Can Rolo and Hudson topics also include mentions of cookies? There are so many mentions of cookies on this channel. I actually put together an article on my website that says comparing all the different cookies on different cruise lines, which ones are the best. Obviously, that's subjective. Which ones are my favorite? Because it's, yeah. Comment. I love when it says comment. It really helps me just to know what it is. Heading to Alaska in a couple of weeks. That'll be amazing. And doing a cruise on Harvilla this winter. That'll be awesome. I had a really good time on my Harvilla cruise. It's not a mainstream cruise line. It's very much a Norwegian sort of ferry. But it was so good. It was so good. My snow boots and the spikes on my shoes and all that kind of stuff. Are there cruises that spend more time in a port? 4 to 8 hours isn't enough time to get to know a city. I would be very disappointed in a cruise that does 4 hours in a port. 8 hours is much more normal. But yeah, you have cruises that stay overnight. That's quite common. You have ones that do even 3 days. When I took a cruise New York to Bermuda, we had 3 days in Bermuda. And if you're doing a river cruise, I mean, my last river cruise was from Venice. We only had 3 ports. We had 2 days in every single place. And we really sailed 2 hours between the ports. So it really depends. How hard is it to adjust to cruises that cross different time zones? I think it's much easier than flying because, it's only 1 hour at a time. So you just go to bed, wake up 1 hour earlier, later. It doesn't really matter. That's the thing. If you have a sea day the next day, they tend to do it at a good time. So if you have a sea day the next day and you're 1 hour out, doesn't really matter that much. How do we know if cruise offers are a scam? P&O, I won a cruise for $9.95. If it's too good to be true, if it sounds ridiculous, that sounds ridiculous, then probably it's a scam. I do have to say there's a lot of accounts on Facebook that use my pictures, use my name, pretend to be travel agents, put pictures up and say, send me a deposit at this bank account, and people do it. People fall for it all the time. It is not me. I have one Facebook page. You can book cruises through me. I just recommend travel agents that I know and ones I've used and ones I like, but that is just through emmacruises.com, and I never have anything to do with the money. So if someone ever messages you, the weirdest things people message pretending to be me, but unfortunately it does work. So they're not going to stop. Yeah, thank you, Jackie, who says, those of us with the wrench are authorized by Emma to keep this a kind, safe place. Yes, absolutely. I trust the moderators completely. I never have second-guessed a decision that they've made. Never, ever. Please don't teach Rolo to eat ketchup on his pizza. I don't think dogs should eat pizza or ketchup, right? So that shouldn't be a problem. What is a good place to stay in Southampton? I mean, I'm normally in the Ibis budget, the Travel Lodge, nowhere particularly nice. The Leonardo is quite nice. That's probably the most fancy one I've stayed in. But I'm not far away, so it's not somewhere that I would stay. I would just go on the day. So, yeah. What would you consider your ultimate bucket list cruise? It's got to be something, I might as well go as far away as possible. It's got to be Australia. It's got to be New Zealand. A really long one. A really long one. That would be really, really cool. Don't get bonked by a wrench. Yeah. Oh, good question. How soon before departure will Royal Caribbean assign my cabin with a guaranteed cabin? It could be from the moment you book up until you can get on the ship and still not have an assigned cabin. So literally anytime in there. Normally it's at least, I would say, a month out they'll do it, something like that. Depends how the cruise is selling. Yeah, it literally could be any time. So even if you don't have one a day before, that's happened to me before. It's not the end of the world. Don't panic. It'll be okay. They're just waiting to see if they can sell any other ones, and then if they can't, they'll put you there. Pretty much. Britishism of spanner, US wrench. Yes, 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 yes. Is there anything more complicated with passports since Brexit? Not really. You just have to, in the airport, you can't always use the gates anymore. You have to queue up, so it just slows things down a bit. But on my recent trip to Venice, we could use the passport gates again in Italy. Yes, it was amazing. It was so good. Do you prefer support through YouTube or Patreon? Who steals the least? Obviously, I can't say which one I prefer when I'm live here, but YouTube takes 30%, Patreon takes 10. Make your decisions. Does an inside or a balcony matter if you may suffer from seasickness? So if you're worried about seasickness and you can afford a balcony cabin, it's always nice to have outside space. If you are feeling a bit like just getting fresh air, just being able to look at the horizon, being outside, that's very, very nice. But I don't think that you should not do a cruise because you can't afford the balcony and you're worried about being an inside. An inside is just fine. Like, it's okay. It's just fine. It's okay. But if you can, it is nice. It is nice. But then again, the inside cabins often have the best locations because they're in the middle, they're far down. You might feel less movement actually in an inside cabin. So really, it's up to you. I'm someone who, if we do get caught in a storm, if there is bad weather, I do feel seasick. It doesn't stop me from booking the cheapest inside cabin in what would be considered the worst location because the money means more to me than the risk. So it's just personal choice. Oh my goodness. The questions that are like, what is the weather going to be like and what is the sea going to be like? Like, I don't know. I don't know because I can't. The weather people don't know. So yeah. What do you think the cruise industry needs to do to attract new young people to cruising? I don't think they need to do anything that they're not doing right now. If you have a look at the statistics for the last 20 years of cruising, the amount of kids and the amount of families that are cruising now is so, so huge. I had this conversation. I looked into this a lot because I spoke to some people in publishing when we planned these Captain Hudson books, which are for kids 8+, and they said, oh, it's going to be a very tough thing to convince people that kids cruise. Right. So I looked into the numbers. There's like 5 million kids per year cruise right now. And the fastest growing markets are all millennials, younger. So they're doing it. They're doing it now. But yeah, that's something that I'm thinking about a lot. I made a video recently. It's not been released yet, but it's about these books, the Captain Hudson books, and why we decided to self-publish these, to do it ourselves. Partly because it was going to take a lot to convince people that kids like cruises, and also because I didn't want them to say, oh, well, Hudson's great, but he needs to be called Brian. Like, no, he's mine. He's mine. So yeah, these aren't out yet. These are still the proof copies, but it's only going to be a couple of weeks till these are on Amazon. So that's super exciting. So exciting. What has been your most challenging cruise? I don't think I've really had a challenging cruise. I've taken a lot of cruises, but none have been particularly challenging. I guess the only ones that would be, I don't know, I would say sort of a language barrier, but I don't think so. No, even when I took a Costa cruise, there were very few English speakers on board, but you would speak to the crew. They would speak to you in Italian, and then you'd say English, and then they'd be like, oh, phew, I speak English much better than Italian. So yeah, I think speaking English makes things a lot easier. But I don't think I've really had a challenging cruise. I've never been on a cruise that I wouldn't do again. Never. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what challenges I could have on a cruise. I mean, I've had cruises cancelled while I was on board. I've had itinerary changes. I've, missed flights places, but yeah, it's better challenges than I would have if I was not on a cruise. Oh, yeah. Matt says, your most challenging cruise was the Norwegian cruise in winter where you were seasick every day. Yeah, I've never felt that unwell. I'm not sure if it was, it would be a coincidence if it wasn't seasickness, but something was going on there. That was that was the Fred Olsen cruise that I took into the Arctic Circle in winter, old ship, it's gonna happen. But even those challenges, like I'd do it again right now. I just take more seasickness medicine. Need quick info on Rolo. When? What breed? How old? Pet fans need to know. When? When? So about a month ago, Rolo arrived at my home. What breed? Street dog. He doesn't come with a breed. We are going to do a doggy DNA test though. There's definitely some German Shepherd in him, I think, but he's not the size of a German Shepherd. He's smaller. So German Shepherd, Beagle. I don't know. German Shepherd and something, definitely. But we will do a DNA test and I will let you know. How old? He's around 7 months. Obviously, he was found. He was found in a graveyard. He was found with a sibling. The sibling died. He survived. And yeah, that's all we know really at the moment. But I have some pictures of him if you want to see some pictures of him. This is little Rolo. Look how cute he is. Obviously, look at those eyes. He looks like he would do no wrong. He's still a puppy. Puppies are a lot of work. They're hard, but so worth it. So worth it. Would you recommend booking excursions through the cruise line or on your own? I almost always do them by myself. There are some exceptions. If I've gone somewhere like Japan and I know it's going to be harder to go on a train by myself, then sometimes I'll do cruise line excursions. But if it's something like, going to Genoa in Italy and going to an aquarium, I'll just go on the aquarium's website, book my own ticket, and then just walk there. It's 10 minutes away. Or in Norway, I went on the funicular railway. The cruise line excursion was like $56 and the ticket was about £6. So like $8 or $10. So yeah, normally I do that. Unless if there's a particularly short day, I have taken some cruises where you're only in port for 4 hours. If that's the case, then sometimes I'll do it because I really want to make the most out of every minute. But normally I will just come. Normally I'll just come back like an hour before. Yes, Rolo is potty trained. He's potty trained. He's pretty good in that way. He's not bothered by cats. He's not bothered by other dogs. He's not bothered by noises. He's just a bit scared of things because he's never seen anything. So you got to slowly introduce him to stuff. But he's doing very well. I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of Hudson. Every time, Hudson sits on the sofa and eats streamies while Rolo's on the floor. I'm like, 2 good boys. I'm so proud. So proud. Would you ever actually do the cheapest versus most expensive cruise ship cabins with Will from Trek Trendy? Oh, I would love to do that. I would love to do that. We talk, we know each other's schedules, just hasn't worked out, but that would be so good. So good. Yes, that's on my bucket list to do. What is the cheapest time of year to cruise in Europe? Obviously, Europe is a very big place. If we narrow it down and we do something like, a Mediterranean cruise, the cheapest time would be just out of peak season. Peak season is June, July, August, September, maybe. Summer. If you can go in November, February, out of season, colder, cheaper. If you're going to do something like a Norway cruise, though, that doesn't work. You can't normally go in winter because the cruise lines move their ships away because they're not selling them in winter because it's dark 20 hours a day. So you'll have to do something like a Norwegian ferry or a Northern Lights cruise. So it's not that simple. There's not really an answer. It depends where you want to go and what you want to do. But yes, I do have, I think, on my website a guide to different places and when is the best time to go. Yes. Ooh. Interesting questions in here. I think quite a lot of our normal moderators are on Virgin Voyages cruise this weekend. So there's some interesting comments. But thank you so much to you guys who are in there. You're doing such a good job. Such a good job. Yeah, Jamie says, I'd love to see you do a job swap with tips for travelers. Gary, imagine him in an inside cabin. I would love to, because it would be a guaranteed inside cabin. He wouldn't get to pick the location and it would be so funny. And I would be there having afternoon tea somewhere. It'll be great. I think we've got to convince Gary on that. It's not me that you got to convince. It's Gary. He would be miserable. But yeah. Donna says, your next cruise is on MSC, correct, in the Yacht Club. So I am going in Yacht Club, which is very exciting. I don't know how to put ad at the start of me talking in a live stream, but I'm going on there because MSC want me to film a yacht club tour basically for them to go on a yacht club cruise. So you'll see my normal content on my channel, and then we'll have bonus content on MSCs, which seems like a pretty good deal to me. I've done 6 MSC cruises before. I think 5 of them in inside cabins, so that's going to be so good. So good, so good. For those of you who don't know, Yacht Club is basically like a little ship within a ship, a more luxurious area. They have their own restaurant in there, their own pool deck in there, their own lounge in there, and you have things like excursions that are just for Yacht Club people. There's a butler. I don't really know what to do with the butler. So, yeah, we will see, but I'm really looking forward to it. Alex says, how did you find an illustrator for the Captain Hudson book? So I hired 32 people, I think he was 33, to do the artwork for Captain Hudson. And in the video that I've made launching these, I show you some of the other art, and some of it's really terrifying. But I wanted something that was like, it's cartoony, right? But it's not babyish. It's not, I don't know. Some of them made Captain Hudson look really pathetic and really scary. Like, I don't know. He's still cool, right? But this is what all of these drawings look like. But I used a website called 99 Designs. It's the same as Fiverr, Upwork, all of those kind of ones. But yeah, there's these 2 small ones. These are like storybooks. And then this one's a bit more of an activity book. And I think that's cute. I'm excited. I really hope you like them, because these have been years in the making. Literally years. There's a place in here, because obviously it includes cookies, right? And it has a place where you can list out all the cookies that you found, what you're going to try and do on the cruise, who's coming with you, that kind of stuff. Where is the picture of Captain Hudson with a cookie? Yeah, so it has, you know, diagrams of the ship. It has little luggage tags and stuff. Super cute. There you go. There's Captain Hudson. Yeah, couple of weeks. I'm trying to find the cookie picture. There it is. Captain Hudson loves the cookie. Of course he does. And then there's space to try, you know, foods you've tried on the ship, things you've done in port, that kind of stuff. Would you like to do a live show with Tony and Don? I would love to see that. If yes, please set it up. Yeah, I have done in the past. If you go back on my channel, I have done a couple with them separately and with them together. It's obviously hard to coordinate our schedules, but I love Don. I love Tony. They are fantastic. I'd love to properly cruise with them. I've been on a cruise ship with Don for the day. He got me on a princess ship, which was very cool. And I've seen Tony on land. But yeah, cruise with them would be so cool. You can get the butler to keep a tray of cookies in your cabin at all times. Yeah, I just have no idea. I have no idea. It seems so cool. Yeah, there's all kinds of things you could get your butler to do that I don't think I'd want them to do. You know, like unpack. I don't really need you to unpack my stuff, but if they can help me to skip queues and stuff like that, fantastic. Looking forward to it. Have you done a video regarding your tech setup with some affiliate links? Not a video. I do have some more sort of resource posts on my website. I have ones which are like blogging resources. If you go on there, it has my camera, has my microphone, I think. But I have an Amazon storefront. If you just type in Emma Cruises Amazon, I try and put everything on there. What is the best budget-friendly cruises you have done? So probably the cheapest cruises I've done are Costa Cruises, the Italian cruise line, MSC Cruises, and P&O Cruises. And also my Carnival cruise was pretty cheap. They're probably the cheapest. Best is really subjective because someone's best is someone's worst. I shared an article recently comparing P&O, the British cruise line, to MSC, the Italian cruise line. And all the comments are like, oh, P&O is so much better. Oh no, MSC is so much better. I would never cruise with MSC. I would never cruise with P&O. And it just shows, you know, one person's best is one person's worst. And that's good because it would be really, really boring. Imagine if everyone just agreed on one cruise line and one size of ship. They just keep doing the same ship over and over again. It would be terrible. David says he's 28 minutes late, and I will echo the lovely things that hopefully everyone has said. Everyone has said lovely things. Don't worry, David. Everyone's been very nice. As always, you know, I wouldn't come back on these live streams if I didn't enjoy them. We've done 200 live streams now, which is a little bit crazy. A little bit crazy. Glacier Bay in Alaska is said to be unmissable. Is that really true? I think so. Yes. It was like not a real place. It was like a movie. It was really, really strange. It was so quiet. That's the thing that got me. I don't know why. But basically we had like a sea day, but a sea day in glaciers. So you'd go up to a glacier, spin round, go to the next one, spin round, really, really slowly, and you just see all these icebergs. And it was really cool, really, really cool. Have you ever done a video on mercy ships? Would be great if they would let you cruise along for a YouTube video. Yeah, it's not really like a cruise ship. It doesn't really move. They move to somewhere. They stay there for 9 months. They come back. So you couldn't really go on a cruise, but you could stay on it, I guess. And I would like to do a tour of it. Yeah. One of their ships was in Tenerife or somewhere like that when I was in Venice, so I just missed it. I have done a video about Mercy ships, yeah, when we talked about how much we raised with I think version 1 of Captain Hudson, so it's quite out of date now, but all the Mercy ship stuff is the same. They are fantastic. They're fantastic. Someone is gifting some subs. Thank you very much. You have access to I don't know, 180 podcasts now. So if you have any questions for me and I don't get the chance to answer them on the live stream, every week I do a Patreon and a YouTube channel members podcast, and I answer every single question. And then you can listen to it in the car or at work or wherever you want to. Are Alaska cruises worth it? Worth it is just, it's so hard to know. It's just like saying, is spaghetti good? Like, to some people yes, to some people no. Alaska cruises are great, yeah, if you like that kind of thing. You know, if you're a Caribbean cruiser, you just love the sun, you're not going to enjoy an Alaska cruise that much. If you're someone who loves cruising to Norway and you want to do an Alaska cruise, it's quite similar. You probably would enjoy it. um I saw a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang this week, the musical. It was amazing. It was so good. Uh, I'll never get over the way Emma describes the cruise ship experience as it's like a different world. It literally is like a different world. It's like a parallel world, and it doesn't feel like it almost doesn't feel like it's me. It feels like a separate person. And I always think of this as being real life. I always say that people are like, it is real life, you know. It's not really though. It doesn't feel like real life. It feels like a just yeah, like a parallel world, a different version of everything. It's food, but not as I know it. It's entertainment, but not how it is in the real world. The sun sets, but so much better on a cruise ship rather than real life. I never see the sunset in real life. There's buildings in the way. Ooh, Emma, you are responsible for making me book my first ever cruise next month. Ooh, Virgin in the Med. Amazing. That'll be really, really nice. That'll be so good. Matt says, today I'm so tired from travel. I think I speak in tongues. Yeah. I've not been very good at saying sentences recently. I had to write one down because it just didn't make any sense. Have you ever streamed or multi-streamed on other platforms like Twitch? I've never been on Twitch, no. I think on Twitch likes really long live streams, doesn't it? Like 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. I don't know. I have tried the multi-streaming thing before where you do the same stream and it goes on TikTok, it goes on Facebook, it goes on Instagram. It just didn't work that well for me. I prefer, you know, if someone, I don't know, I just prefer you to come over YouTube rather than watch me on TikTok anyway. So yeah, I try and just share that I'm doing the live stream everywhere and then people come here. I could try again, but yeah, last time I did it, it just caused me problems. And I just want this to work. Just want this to work. What is your favorite thing about being on a cruise ship or being a cruise YouTuber? Interesting. Being on a cruise ship, it's really weird because it's the smallest things about being on a cruise that I really enjoy. It's kind of like, I don't know. Obviously, there's the big things. Obviously, you know, unpack once, get to see a new place every single day, get to eat nice food, get to eat nice entertainment, see nice entertainment. But for me, I quite like the schedule of it, which is not very fun. I'm sorry, but like knowing when I get on what I'm doing for the next 7 days, where I'm going, I don't have to worry about anything because I know where I'm going. People are looking after me, right? And I get to do all this cool stuff. For me, that's probably my favorite thing about cruising. It just, you get to turn off parts of your brain, particularly when it wasn't my job, turn off my brain completely. No emails, no work, nothing, no one, you don't have to think about anything. Because, you know, when I had a more normal sort of 9 to 5 office job, it very much felt like the same thing over and over again for the infinite stretch for the rest of my life. And going on a cruise breaks that. You only look at the next week or the next 2 weeks, and all the things you're looking at are good. But I also really like small things like, you know, I love it when you sail away and everyone's waving at you and you just wave back. Like, it just makes me really happy. Favorite thing about being a cruise YouTuber, it's just having people who actually care about what I say. I created my website in 2016, created a YouTube channel in 2017 because I was just boring people by coming back from a cruise and saying, "Oh my goodness, can you believe the differences between Norwegian Getaway and Norwegian Breakaway? They moved this, they did this." And people are like, "What? No one cares." Well, I found people who do care. So I think that's it. I get to meet so many lovely people now, people from all over the world, people who maybe I wouldn't have a conversation with them because why would we start a conversation? We don't know each other. But now there's something in common, and people will come up to me and they'll recognize Captain Hudson or something. And then I get to meet people who are from places I've never even heard of, which is really, really cool. There's not really anything I don't like about cruising, though. So, yeah. Oh, Thomas says, I thought your NCL Alaska excursion videos were some of your best work. Thank you very much. That was a really sort of, for me, because my first cruise was to Alaska with Norwegian. So it really felt like, I don't know, it gave me a chance to sort of stop and be like, look where I am right now. It's crazy. But yeah. Which muster drill do you prefer, the traditional or the e-muster? Absolutely e-muster. Never do I want to do a traditional muster drill again. So for those of you who don't know, a muster drill is the safety drill. You have to do it on the first day. And you traditionally, you go to your muster station where you would go in an emergency. They used to make everyone line up on the promenade deck. It used to be hot. You spend the entire time trying not to be sick or faint. And I do, maybe not everyone does. And they tell you, don't climb on the railings, don't throw things in the sea, that kind of stuff. But now you can normally watch the video of them saying that on your cabin TV. You can watch it on your phone. I've watched some on planes. I don't want to waste my cruise time if I can watch it pre-cruise when I'm on a plane. And I just love it. I think it's brilliant. It is brilliant. Where do you see you and your channel in 5 years? I think it is impossible to say because if you asked me this 5 years ago, I never would have guessed here. Never, ever. I mean, 5 years ago, pre-pandemic, I was working in data development. I was working in insurance. I took 2 cruises maybe by then. A year, I mean, not 2 cruises in total. I used to do 1 cruise every other year pretty much, and then I stepped it up because I had a website and I wanted to do some more, but never ever would I have imagined that I would be full-time working for myself, would have a team as well and traveling as much as I do. Never ever. So, yeah, I don't know. There's obviously a limit in how much I can expand my business, but I don't particularly want to expand my business. People always say, "Oh, you could do this and get more views." Don't really want more views particularly. I want to keep the people that we already have, right? I'm very happy with everyone who's here. So yeah, don't think I could have guessed it. If I can make my life easier, take away some of the work that's a bit harder, that would be good. But yeah. Where do you see yourself in 1 hour eating a pizza? I do see myself in 1 hour eating a pizza. And I see Rolo looking at me like, puppy dog eyes. Puppy dog eyes are such a real thing, but he's not getting any pizza, that's for sure. But yes, sadly, it's not my favorite pizza from Iceland. I haven't been to Iceland in ages. How far in advance do you book your cruises? I have booked cruises from 2 to 3 weeks in advance to 2 to 3 years in advance. I mean, I like a last minute cruise. I sort of have to be more organized now because this is my business. When I had a normal job, you have to be more organized because of annual leave. Last minute cruises are just not all that practical, which is why they're normally cheaper. Also, I don't like to book really far in advance because I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to want to do in 2 or 3 years. I'm sure it's going to be go on a cruise. But I tend to do somewhere in the middle, like a year, 6 months, year and a half. Depends who's coming with me as well, yeah. What is your squash of today? What is today's choice of squash? It is Vimto. Vimto is my most consumed squash. I don't know what the actual flavor of Vimto is. Berries. Let me know what berries are in Vimto. Where is your favorite pizza in Iceland? Going in December, and I would love to try it. I mean, Iceland, the supermarket. I've never been to Iceland, the country. Iceland, the supermarket. Oh, Jamie says my annual leave started 40 minutes ago for my next cruise. Amazing. Do you ever get bored on cruises? I don't think I've ever been bored on cruises. As my mum would say, only boring people get bored. So I don't think I've ever been bored on a cruise. Because if I was bored, I would just go for a walk and then I'd find something, right? Um, yeah, I don't think so. I always have things to entertain. Jamie says Ribena is better than Vimto. You know, Ribena is like a really nice treat. It's like a premium squash to me. Ribena just, it feels like it needs to be in a carton with a straw. It doesn't feel right in a cup. And it needs to be consumed in like a garden center or something. If you had the money, would you create Emma Cruise's cruise line? Absolutely not. There's a million things I would rather create than a cruise line because I don't know how they deal with it. Gosh, yeah, no, I don't think I'm cut out for that. I'm not cut out for that. Because you know, even if I made myself the perfect cruise, you know, no matter what choice you made, people will be unhappy with it. I just couldn't deal with that. Oh, Jane says we're going on a mystery cruise with Fred Olsen. Would you like to try it? I would love to try it. There's one soon, isn't there? I think November. It just doesn't fit in with my schedule, but that would be amazing. It'd be a really good YouTube video. It's going to be really fun. So cool. It's a cruise where you don't know where you're going until the day before, I think. Sounds awesome. Yeah. Oh, seen some crazy cheap cruises for Celestial, but can't find many reviews. Are they very good? So I have cruised with Celestial. It was quite a long time ago, and we did a 5-night cruise, I think, or 4-night cruise where we had 7 ports. So we pretty much had 2 ports every single day, and it was very, very good. Very, very tiring though. By the time it was over, I was like, I need a week on some other cruise to recover from that cruise. But if you're coming from somewhere far away and you want to really see Greece, that is the best way to do it, I think. We had Greek food, there was Greek music, everyone was speaking all different languages, and it was really good. It's not like a British cruise line, it's not like an American cruise line, it's a Greek cruise line. Yeah, there's probably not many reviews just really in English, probably, but yeah, I enjoyed it. If you go back on my channel, way back, it's not great content. It's quite old, but check it out. I was on Celestial Olympia. Yeah, cute ship, cute ship. With a mystery cruise, do they give you an idea of what to dress for? That sounds fun and terrifying. I mean, if it is, for example, going from Southampton in England in November and it's 7 days long, you're not going to get anywhere that is that warm or that cold. So I guess you kind of have an idea, but I'm not sure how much they tell you. I don't think they tell you anything, but yeah, you probably have an idea from where you're going. Yeah, Celestial have 2 more ships. Yeah, 2 newer ships. They do. Don't be mistaken. They're not new ships. Newer ships. Newer ships. Simon says Vimto is great. Blackcurrant and raspberry. Very nice. I hear the seagulls. Hear the seagulls. Just have a few minutes to log on and say howdy and see how everyone is doing. I think everyone is doing pretty good. If I speak for everyone, I'm doing pretty good. Pretty chilled. The sun is shining. And yeah, thank you for checking in. I appreciate it. I think sometimes people feel like they need to attend these live streams, as in come and then be here the whole time and then leave. I don't mind if you come in, leave, watch these later. I appreciate it whenever you watch. I'm just basically saying I'm going to be here. I'm just hanging out for an hour. And if you want to come and say hi, then come say hi. Oh, really nice comment from Chris. Says you're always so well dressed throughout your cruises. What are your secrets and tips? I don't think I have any top secrets and tips. This dress, for example, this one in red, I have this dress in 5 colors because it's my favorite dress. I wear it all the time. I have a red one, I have a black one, I have a green one, and I have one with leaves on it. So if you just search Emma Cruise's dresses, this is just from Amazon, but it feels like wearing pajamas. It's super comfy and I really like it. But yeah, I tend to find something I like and I just go with it. Normally that's a stripy t-shirt, a spotty dress. I just wear the same things over and over again. I don't really wear my cruise clothes at home much. It's not normally warm enough for a start. But when I go on a cruise, I just sort of put the same things in the thing. I get comments all the time and they're like, Emma, you wore this dress in 2019. Yes, I did. I'm wearing it now. It's my dress. Like, where else is it going to go? Oh, Jamie says, your hair looks lovely today. Thank you very much. It's really growing quite a lot. I still, every single day, get a comment about how much people didn't like my hair when I shaved my hair off. But I did it for charity. I did it for charity twice. And sometimes I saw a post recently, someone commented about how they liked me, but not my hair. And my mum commented on it. That's quite funny. But yeah, I normally just trying to leave those. Oh yeah, Jack says that plant behind your head looks like it's attached to your hair. It does. It looks good. I like it. Um, if it fits, wear it. Absolutely, yes. Absolutely. I do not understand the need to from one summer to the other if clothes still fit. Don't get rid of them. I don't understand that. Yeah, can't wear my crew stuff in normal days. Feels like I'm cheating. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, doing a Canary Island cruise at Christmas time. Any suggestions on what to see and do? I have taken Canary Island cruises at Christmas, just one actually on Norwegian Epic a very long time ago. I do have some content from that though. If you want to go on my website all the way back, you'll find out whatever we did. But the thing that was really weird for me about cruising Canary Islands at Christmas is the weather is so nice. It's lovely, so good. It was like 25 degrees Celsius, perfect. I was wearing shorts on Christmas, but the thing is the Christmas imagery is still snowy. And I don't know why. It just seems so weird to see like a sandy beach somewhere in Tenerife and then there's snowmen everywhere. It just seemed really weird. It was really weird. But it was so good. You're gonna have the best time ever. Best time ever. Why would someone be so mean as to say that? Did your mum use industrial language? No, my mum was very polite. My mum was very polite. I've learned there's not a thing I can say or wear or look like or do that is not upsetting to someone. Every life choice I've ever made, someone doesn't like. So it's okay. But I'm very proud of the fact I have shaved my hair off twice for charity. I think we raised £5,000 the first time, 45,000 the second time. You know, that's worth it. So worth it. Never buy the same dresses again. Always different color and different style. I have bought before the same dress again, where I've washed it and it's got shorter, and then I've bought it again. Because this year is the first year I've ever had a tumble dryer. So I'm learning how a tumble dryer works. Would you rather the itinerary or the ship be the focus of the cruise? New ships seem to want to be the main focus. Yeah, there's different types of cruises, right? If you go on the biggest cruise ship in the world, I don't know if anyone watched that TV show about Icon on the Seas. That's very much the thing. That's the thing. It's like a theme park. It's so fun, so cool, but it's not really about where you're going. And sometimes that's fun. You know, if I'm taking a cruise with my nieces, if I'm taking a cruise with my friends, they might just want to see what a cruise is like. They might just enjoy that. They don't really care where it goes. Other times you book a cruise because you really want to go to Alaska and you don't want to be thinking, oh, I'm really missing, I don't know what you're missing, the aqua show because I'm out. You don't want to be missing things. So for me, it's just two different types of cruises. Yeah, I've not been on Icon of the Seas, but there was a TV show about it this week. And it's interesting because I don't know if I'd never been on a cruise, if I watched that show, I don't think it would make me want to go on a cruise particularly because it just seemed a lot of people. Whereas when you actually go on a cruise, you don't really see that many people together that often. Yeah. How is the bike cruise going for your mum? She's doing really well. So for those of you who remember, I took a bike and barge cycling cruise. I've done 2 of those. And my mum and my dad are on that cruise right now. And my dad used to cycles all the time. My mum, not so much. But she's doing good. She has an e-bike. So, you know, helps with going up hills and stuff. It doesn't help you sitting in the saddle. That bit's still hard. Cycling, numb bum. But she's enjoying it. Yeah, having a good time. Do you prefer being at sea or at port? I like both. Sometimes I like it when we're at port, but I'm staying on the ship because then it's quieter. Everyone else is off on excursions. That's when I normally get most of my filming done. Yeah, people are weird. Yes, people are weird. Yeah. Okay, right. I'll put the picture back of Rolo for 1 second. 1 second. Happy? Good. Yeah. Yeah, saw your parents post on the cruise. Looks so fun. So fun. So fun. When you're home, do you cook your own meals or continue to eat in restaurants? I probably eat in a restaurant once a month, maybe on land. Apparently, I have seen some statistics about how often people in the UK versus people in the US eat out. And in the US, it was like people eat out 3 or 4 times a week or something. It's not normal really to eat out unless there's a reason. I'd say like I don't know. If I said once every 2 weeks, I don't think I actually go out that often to eat. Um, yeah. I mean, sometimes I order food in, but I don't know. I wouldn't just be at home and then just go out to eat in a restaurant. It just seems weird. Yeah. How can we help Rolo rank up? I mean, he's the cadet, so he's scrubbing the decks. He needs to learn how to make a good cup of tea, which is going to take a while. Take a while. What made you decide to adopt a dog? It's one of those things where we've always said, the end goal is to get a dog. When the time is right, we'll get a dog. Someone who I knew passed away, and I thought, this is ridiculous. Life is too short. There's never going to be a good time, a perfect time to get a dog. And this is a pretty good time. We're not traveling. So that's what I was thinking. We didn't know, we had a death in my family the day after Rolo arrived. So yeah, it's been really nice to have that. Like, dogs are just so happy to see you, aren't they? Cats, cats can take you or leave you and chill out, but to have the dog to like focus on, it's been really, really good, really good. What will you do with Rolo while you cruise? Rolo will stay put. Rolo is in charge. The humans will just change around him. I always have people who stay in my house, looking after my house, looking after my cat. So now they will have a dog to look after as well. And that's okay. That's all good. When you're cruising, does the availability of food mean you eat more at random times? No, I'm someone who's very on a schedule, with my food. I will not, I'll sit there with my lunch at like 5 to 12, being like, oh, I can't eat it till 12 because I've made all these rules in my head. And that's just how it's always been. So, not really. I tend to eat at the same times. I tend to eat sort of the same. I cruise a lot now. It's not, I don't have like the normal cruise eating experience because normally on a cruise you eat double what you'd normally eat, right? I can't do that every time I cruise because I cruise a lot. So yeah, I tend to stick to my same sort of schedule. Yeah, a dog's owner knows the dog loves him, but a cat and their owner is more private. Yeah. When a cat sits next to you and they put your head on you, you're like, I've been chosen. Oh, he loves me. Whereas with a dog, they're like, oh my gosh, I love it, which is so cool. Donna says, when is the cruise in yacht club? I'm afraid I can't say, just so I can create the best sort of content. And also for my own privacy, I can't be telling people where I'm going to be. And yeah, it's just not a smart idea with, I think, 5 million people saw my face last month. And not all of them like me. And it's not even the ones that don't like me that are the problem. It's the ones that like me too much. So yeah, I'm sorry, I can't say. But thank you very much for being interested. And I'll let you know more when I can. I was on the P&O website the other night and booked standard balcony with a queen size bed. Standard, they call it. I think that just means a regular one. Just means normal, not like a family bigger one, not smaller. Just plain old normal. Plain old normal. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Have you considered ranking the cruises you take, perhaps using cookies instead of stars? It's a good idea, but I I don't think it would be fair. How can I compare? My last cruise, for example, was a Uniworld River cruise. I paid £2,000 per person for that cruise, and that is half price pretty much on what a Uniworld cruise normally costs. I booked it in the Christmas sale, but basically the value of that is £4,000, right, for a week. And I've also taken Costa cruises where I've paid £320 for a week. How would I compare them? Like, it just wouldn't be fair. I guess you could do value for money, but like I don't know, how can you even compare food? Because do you do the quality of the food, the accessibility of the food? I eat like a child a lot of the times. I don't care if this is a truffle from the mountains. I don't care if you've paired it with wine. I don't like wine. So like, it's really tricky, really, really tricky. Will your parents be making a video about their cycling cruise? I saw your video and it looked amazing. No, my parents are not YouTubers. They have no interest in being YouTubers. They are sharing updates though in our Facebook group. So if you're not already in there, just search Emma Cruises. I think it's called Emma Cruises and Captain Hudson. And it's mostly pictures of people taking their Captain Hudsons on cruises, sharing where he's been. And it's a really nice group. We've had it since 2016. So a long time, a long, long time. Oh, thanks, Donna. Please, you protect yourself. Very sensible. Thank you. I am sensible. I think I've always been sensible. Um, Yes. Weather-wise, what is the worst cruise you've been on, and where were you? Probably the roughest seas I've had was in the Arctic Circle. It was in winter. You kind of expect that, right? In the winter, Arctic Circle. I've also had bad weather, just cruising the Mediterranean. I've had some cruising this bit, not even the Bay of Biscay, which is this part, but further down. I've had some bad weather down there. Bad weather can happen anywhere. But yeah, I think Arctic Circle in winter on an old ship, looking for the Northern Lights. Yeah. Do you think many cruisers have unrealistic expectations about the level of service? So I've been on 69 cruises now, right? And I meet on some cruises 100 plus people who I talk to, and everyone who I talk to, I say, "Are you having a good cruise?" And only one time on any of those cruises has someone just said no. Sometimes people will say, "Oh well, I the weather's been a bit bad, but we love the food," or "I'm not sure the entertainment's for me, but our cabin's lovely," something like that. But the majority of people are very, very happy. I'm not sure if that's who I attract through my videos, so that's why they talk to me. But only ever has one person said no, and I get some people are just not happy. Like if I asked this person on land if they were happy, they just would have said no. But yeah, I think most people are quite happy on cruises. And yeah, I mean, level of service is strange because some people really like it when waiters ask them, "How was your day? Where did you go?" I don't need you to ask me that. I really don't. Like if you just bring me the food, ask me what I want, bring me the food. As long as you sort out any problems if there are any, that's fine. That's fine. As long as you know what the menu is, that's it. That's it. Um yeah, I did see the Northern Lights. I did. It was amazing. There's a video about that on my channel. It was absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. Yeah, I do think, on the internet, things seem a lot more negative because the only things you see are negative. I often see, someone will have a bad experience on a cruise or a cruise line. On TikTok, it'll get 17 million views, and on YouTube, it'll get loads of views. And then the cruise line will fix it. The person's very happy with it. They put out a video saying, "Oh, it's fine." No one sees that. No one's going to share it. So we do see just the bad things. But almost everybody who I've ever met is having a good time on a cruise. That's it's fun, right? It's supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be the thing that you look forward to for a long time, right? So yeah, I think you can get like just a more negative perception on the internet, but in real life, everyone is having a great time. Everyone's having a great time. Yeah, bad news definitely sells. Definitely. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yes, thank you, Kevin, for sharing my Patreon. Yes, Patreon. Patreon's where I share things like, when when Rolo first arrived, I wasn't ready to announce him, but I share things like that in Patreon. When I'm having business meetings and thinking about doing things, then I ask the Patreons because you guys are lovely. You're the best. Carol says, "Great live stream," which that makes it sound like it's the end of the live stream. And I was thinking, Carol, what? But it is. It is nearly the end of the live stream. We've got a couple of minutes left. The time flies during these live streams. It always does. It always has. It's making my life feel very short because it just goes so fast. It's like fast forwarding an hour every single week of my life. But then also, when you're on a cruise and it feels like the week goes so fast, right? I still feel like that all the time. So a lot of my life's going really, really fast. I can't believe I think I was 23. Yeah, it must have been 23 when I started my website, and I am 30 now. Woohoo! And I love it. 30 is best. I love 30 more than 29, and I like 29 more than 28. And I liked, I like this job more than my last job, and I liked my job more than maybe I like university more, but I like university more than college, and I like college more than school. So yeah, hopefully carries on that way. Hope so. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, if you have any very quick questions, like this one from Rick, he says, "I'm a cigar smoker. Do most cruises have outdoor smoking areas?" Yeah, all of them have outdoor smoking areas. Sometimes it'll be on the promenade deck. Sometimes it'll be on the pool deck. Sometimes they'll have cigar lounges, a room where you can smoke cigars. So, yeah, just depends on the cruise line. Fraser's coming in here with 1 minute, 1 minute to go on the live stream, saying hello from my river cruise. Very, very nice. I think, is it a Riviera river cruise? Sorry if I remember that wrong, but it looks lovely. Looks lovely. Oh, yes, the Enjoy the Wood map of London is brilliant. Yes, so they are our sponsor of this live stream. The discount is just Emma Cruises because we're keeping things simple. And that is on not just these maps, they have all different kinds of maps. You can get just Europe, you can get just America, you can get ones of London, stuff like that. Yes. Riviera, yes, amazing. Jack says, what was your last job? I was a data developer. I worked for a group of car insurers for 6 years, and I basically made reports. You know, they would buy a new car insurer, the data doesn't match. You make the data match, make reports, reconcile things. So sitting quietly and doing that, yeah. But then in my lunch, before work, after work, I'd be cruising in my brain, and writing about it on the internet. And thank goodness I did. Thank goodness I did. But yes, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for this live stream. I will be back next week at the same time. I'm hoping to be back in the same schedule. I do have, some things I have to sort out, and obviously with Rolo it's a bit tricky, but I'm hoping now that we're back. Thank you, Thomas, for saying enjoy the pizza with puppy dog eyes. I absolutely will. David says, what's the difference between college and university? So here, you go to school till you're 16, you go to college 16 to 18, and then university 18 to 21. That's what I did. Please don't teach me SQL. I did SAS and SQL, and I don't want to do it ever again. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been really nice to talk to you, and I will see you soon. Bye.